It's another day to be great. I'm Charbel Milan, and this is A Time Shared. On today's episode, we have David the Motivator joining us as we discuss the mindset behind succeeding in multiple business ventures. And just like every other time, we are back. My name's Charbel Milan. Today we got
Mr. David Motivator.
And this is a Time Shared. So, David, just to get you up to speed real quick, this is a Time Shared, the one and only podcast bringing light to people like you, people who are out here killing it, changing different industries, and really trying to pave a way for other people. So before we get going, if you just want to get the people up to speed on who you are, what you do, and everything they should know about you before we get going.
Okay, before I tell you a little bit about my story, first of all, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity and this platform to come speak to other people out here, other entrepreneurs, other like-minded people. And listen, I am very proud of you. I checked you out. I seen you. I networked with you, which we're going to talk about a little later. And now we're here. So I really appreciate the opportunity you're bringing to me to be able to speak on your platform. So I really appreciate it, Charbel.
Thank you so much, man. Thanks for giving us the opportunities.
Okay.
Great building, great energy, great vibes, you know?
Okay, first of all, just letting you guys know right now, we're actually we're live in the Legacy Center. We have an office out here. We're in a incubator for entrepreneurs. So that's going to be one of the key things that we're going to talk about. But very quickly, my story, my name is David Motivator. I'm actually from Brooklyn, New York. We're currently in Atlanta. I'll tell you a little bit about that a little later. But I had pretty humble beginnings. Grew up in East Flatbush, Brooklyn. Growing up, it was in a rough area. It might have got you guys here in New York and see New York now, but coming up, it was a very rough area. A lot of gangs, a lot of violence, a lot of everything. But one of the key things that I think humbled me was I still grew up in a 2-parent household. I grew up with four brothers in a 2-bedroom. So you could just imagine that. And let's just put it like this. My older brother, since he was the oldest, he got a room for himself. So just imagine 3 boys in 1 bedroom.
It always happens like that, right?
Yeah, it's the craziest thing. So I think half the, and you're always worried about who's sleeping on the top, who's sleeping on the bottom, where's the other person gonna be at. But those are humble beginnings. Had great parents, grew up in the church. So from when I was young, I've always had a great mind and great parents. So, I would guess to just let you guys know, I feel blessed that I had great parents that were able to teach me the right way, keep me out of trouble, don't have me out at different times. Like of course, as a kid, you want to do the bad things, you want to go explore, but they kept my right mind on my shoulder, as well as I grew up in the church, Seventh-day Adventist growing up. So I was able to keep a great head on my shoulders. So coming up from when I was young, I watched my mom be an entrepreneur as well as being a hard worker for both my mother and my father. From when I was young, they would always be working. And honestly, I didn't like the fact that my mom, she was getting older in age and she was getting sick. She was working a lot. And I actually helped her up until she passed away as well. But I watched my mom actually do a couple of different businesses. I watched her do a couple of different home-based business, network marketing businesses. I've seen her actually open up a health food store. I've seen her always just hustling, Like I remember at times when she needed money, my mom was maybe 5'4", 5'5", and she could have got a security job. So that was crazy, And one of the time, and honestly, I made her stop working at the time once she got a security job and she slipped and fell in ice and couldn't get up.
Jesus.
And pretty much from that day on, she retired. I pretty much retired her. I was about 18 or 19 at that point, but I retired her. I was about 17, 18. I retired her. She never worked until she passed away, which we'll get into a little later. But my entrepreneur spirit came from my mother. And one of those days, I was a good kid, doing good things, helping her at her store. And I think at 13 years old, 12 or 13 years old, I asked for a pair of sneakers. I think it was some Adidas, because growing up, one of the only key things that you could have is sneakers. In high school, if you have the fresh sneakers, if you don't have the fresh sneakers or clothes, you're getting picked on.
It's still like that today, unfortunately.
It's crazy, but we came into that time. So I remember was doing well in school, was helping her out at work, and I asked her for a pair of I think it was some Adidas Superstars. That would have been my only sneaker, because I was the guy that might have had that one LA Gear or that Payless sneaker coming up, tight pants, hand-me-down clothes, all those things. So once she told me that, you're a good kid and I really want to help you, and I want to help you get a pair of I want to get you, but we can't afford it. I knew from that day at 13 that if I wanted nice things, I'd have to go get it myself. So from that day on, I started doing everything in junior high school and high school. I was able to I was selling candy. I was selling baseball cards, basketball cards. I was selling video games. I was doing all those things to make some money, and I started generating income. One of the key points I'd also tell you is hard work is always going to pay off. I started from a very young age. I figured out how to start making money. I'm pretty sure I lied on my application just to start working. So I think one of my first jobs was Baskin Robbins, but in high school is where things really took a turn. I was in high school. I was able to actually find a connect or connect or hustle on sneakers. So I was able to actually get sneakers for the low. And what ended up happening was actually I first got sneakers. I remember what it was. Some Flight Posits. Are you familiar with Flight Posits? It was before the phone posits.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Colorful, real nice. Almost $200 for the sneaker
At that time.
Yeah.
So like
crazy. Think about it. I'm still looking $200 back then. It's $300 now. Phone posits. So
oh my God.
At that time, I was able to get an exclusive colorway, and I brought it to school the next day. That was the first time I was the man, and that was the best feeling ever. But then at the same time, people asked me, I want one of those too. And then this is what also happened that day too. After I went out of school, we have a strip where we go to downtown Brooklyn. Of course, you get some new sneakers, you walk through the stroll. I conveniently walked to every sneaker store with the newest sneakers that they didn't have. And at that point, the sneaker store was asking me, yo, we want those. The school was asking me about how to get those. And I have never actually told this story, but I'll tell you exactly what I did. They said they wanted that sneaker so they could sell. I literally cleaned up that sneaker, came back the next day and sold them to them for a retail price. Took that, bought two more, and that was a sneaker hustle. So in high school, I was actually the person that was selling. I was selling hundreds of sneakers in high school, honestly. And I'm almost as crazy as it sounds. I was the original sneaker plug, and if I had actually kept all those sneakers or still with those sneakers, I'm talking about the Jordan 11s, Jordans 1s. I know every single Jordan, Scottie Pippins, these Flight Pods, Phone Pods. I sold so much of them. If I just kept those from now to here, I'd probably be rich as well. But I sold sneakers in high school. Got very successful with that, and from that success, I figured out that I actually can make a little bit more money. Like the extra ones that I didn't sell, I can actually make some more money. I started putting them on eBay.
Okay.
So we're talking about, this is eBay when baseball cards. eBay started with baseball cards, and so I was selling a lot of stuff. I was selling a lot of products on eBay as well as school. So honestly, I'm pretty sure I can't remember the numbers, but I'm pretty sure it was a 6-figure business generated at that point. But I was just spending it on clothes and sneakers. Yeah. I was just living my life. But don't get me wrong, I made a lot of good money. So, and the website at the time was called freshstyles.com. So that was pretty good. So from then, I actually opened up a I took the money that I made from my business. I saved up some money, and I was getting a little tired of New York as I did as well as now. And I had visited Columbia, South Carolina, seen an opportunity, and I actually went to Columbia, South Carolina. But during that time, what I told you earlier, I was helping out my mom. This is what I was also doing. When I first started making some money, first thing I did is I told my mom, listen, I'll pay whatever you're making, I'll pay you not to work. So I essentially retired my mom in my early teens up until she passed. I left her with my, not even a credit card at that point, my debit card, told her to buy whatever she wants. She passed away 3 days after my birthday when I was 18. And it was actually funny when I look back. I actually looked back at my credit card or my debit card statement. She bought like everything, like you know those TV shows where you could the Home Shopping Network. She bought everything. We found like $1,200 what are those called? Stairmasters, one of those running machines. We seen all of that. God. So she bought everything. I don't mind because I was able to give my mom whatever she wanted. She had nice bags. She had nice clothes. She got sick and she passed away at that time. But listen, things happen. People move on. She's tatted on me right now, and I feel she's with me every day. So, so after my mom passed away, I moved to Columbia, South Carolina. Opened up a clothing store. It was called All Star Players with my business partner Terry Cream, and we had a nice successful run over there in Columbia, South Carolina for about 2-3 years, and it just different timing, and still being new to the business and new to the area, and we had a lot of friction with just like we were successful, but I'll just be 100% honest. Some like the neighborhood didn't like all of what we were bringing at the time. So, and differences of what we were doing, and I was still young, so we dissolved that business about 3 years, but we had a very successful run, and people still talk about it to this day. After I came back, I actually moved back to New York, and when I moved back to New York, I knew I wanted to get into real estate. So I got into real estate. I started with my first business, Century 20, with first company Century 21 Achievers. My broker, Edmund Sadio. So it was a great opportunity. So we're talking about 2006, 2007, as I was learning the game. But we all know what happened in 2008. I don't know if you're young enough to remember.
Oh, I remember it, man.
Okay,
I remember. I wish I shorted some stock at that time.
Let me tell you something.
I'm just kidding. I was like 11.
let me actually even tell you what you might hear stories of this, but that was the wild, wild west days of the housing market, where literally
subprime mortgages.
That was a subprime mortgages.
Oh my God.
A stated income, which means anybody could get a mortgage. There was the mirror test. If there was somebody on the other side of the mirror, and sometimes even if there's nobody on the other side of the mirror, you could have got a house. So people were overpaying for houses. People were buying house. So
wasn't it that they were making it to where people could essentially just pay a fraction of the interest of the loan?
Yeah, it was interest on. It was the interest only loans. So they were interest only loans for the first 5 years, subprime loans, and literally you got to understand. Let's just keep it 100% real. If you're gonna state what your income is, of course you're gonna say your income is better. So they were qualifying people that didn't need to be. So at the time, we were making, if you were a realtor, you were making hand money over a fist. But at the same time, once that housing market crashed, I was actually starting in that time. So there was a time where when we were in real estate, everybody that's in real estate knows if you have listings, that's where you make the money. So I was going hard for listings. I had a whole bunch of listings and they stopped selling. So that was a hard time. Like at that point, you could have been good and still been not making money because that housing crash. So, being able to see that and then see where we at with current events right now, it's to see what it is. Because right now, currently where we're at in April 2021, it's a seller's market. It's a hot market right now, you know? So we're here to see. But what I will tell you is that it's half and half on what's really going on, because if right now there's a foreclosure moratorium, so nobody's getting there's nobody getting foreclosed on, and there's in certain states like I know in New York there's an eviction moratorium, so people are not paying their rent, and if they're not paying their mortgage, they're not losing anyway. So we're here to see. We're right now in April 2021. I'm looking for. I don't want it to crash, but I'm waiting for it to come back to be a buyer's market so I could go start guy in real estate. But and also speaking of real estate, I was actually able, I think at the age of 22, buy one of my first properties. I didn't keep it too long because I moved out, but I bought a property at that time. And fast forward, just did a lot of different businesses. So I got into real estate still in 2006, 2007, still have my real estate license right now. Currently in Atlanta, Georgia. And after that, I was dabbling into speaking, and as well as I actually got a great idea to start doing motivational seminars. I did the Millionaire Brotherhood Success Seminar in 2011, where I brought a lot of motivational speakers that you see right now. Like I seen them almost 10 years ago. So, and if you see now some of the collective of what's going on, I was into that. And then right after I got into after I got into that, I actually got introduced to network marketing, a network marketing company called 5 Links. I was actually introduced to that in March 2011, and I actually joined end of that month after I finished my seminar, and went ahead and seen the opportunity. I was a little hesitant about network marketing at the time, and but I got started, but I hit the ground running. I was actually broke. So I hit the ground running, was able to have some immediate success in the first 60 days. And then within 2 years, was able to hit the position of senior vice president, have over 2,000 people in my downline. And and since then, it's been about the past 10 years. It's 10 years since. Been in network marketing. Had some ups and downs in between, but I've been getting a network marketing check for about 10 years. Been an entrepreneur, still doing real estate, doing business, doing coaching. Got into another business a few years ago because I was doing a lot of credit repair as well. That was another thing I'd done. So then got into a company, had some success with that. And now fast forward in 2021, we're here together, and I'm actually looking for new opportunities. I recently, 1 week ago, today is the 15th of April. 1 week ago, I was thinking about the 7th. I actually moved to Atlanta, and I actually looked at it it was the 4th I moved to Atlanta, but February 4th, I came and visited, and I took a picture in front, and I said, this is where I'm gonna be at, and I'm gonna have an office over here. And 60 days later, I was here in the office at the Legacy Center, super excited about what's gonna happen. Came out to Atlanta to not only build, and come to think about it, that was a time when you seen me in Atlanta at BT's event.
Yeah, that was how we connected.
That's how we connected originally. And at that time, I even told you I was just visiting, but I'll be back. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
And then as soon as I got back, I sent you a DM and I told you I'm here, and then we set this up. So, but since then, I've came to Atlanta, looking to build business, collaborate with entrepreneurs. I have my real estate license. I'm gonna get it out here as well. One of the bigger things I'm looking to do is do Airbnbs, just rental arbitrage, maybe get into some Toro, renting cars, a lot of things, and just collaborating with individuals, seeing what we could do, collaborating with you on podcasts. Of course, I want to expand my speaking, my teaching, my business, but I feel like I want to build some businesses and show people what I can do. I feel I'm gonna give you some of my goals. The first 90 days, I'm looking to do 90K in 90 days. This is new revenue, just new revenue, 90K in 90 days. We're about 2 weeks in, so still working on that business. And that came, and I actually seen that 90-day challenge from, are you familiar with Grant Cardone, of course?
Yeah, of course.
Undercover Billionaire. You seen that, right?
I haven't. Undercover Billionaire?
He has a show currently called Undercover Billionaire, where pretty much they dropped him off. It's 3 people, but I focus on Grant Cardone. But they dropped him off in Pueblo, Colorado, and they gave him $100, old pickup truck, and he has 90 days to make $1 million valuation of his company. So watching that inspired me to do kind of like the same thing. So I said 90K in 90 days, and in the first year, I'm looking at gross revenue, not valuation, $1 million. I'm looking to work out. I've had some health issues last year. I was actually 7 months ago, I was in the hospital.
Jeez.
What most people don't know, when I was in the hospital, and I ended up there by kind of accident. And then when they kind of did my blood work and checked me out, said I was completely messed up. Actually had a destruction of skeletal muscle. So I pretty much destroyed my whole body. It's a long story on how I got there, but the comeback story is where we're at. But currently in Atlanta, looking to build business, 90K in 90 days. I'm looking to lose about 40 pounds in the next 90 days. Also looking to collaborate, do business, do seminars, build people, get around, be known, and honestly just get into it. So it's only been 2 weeks already. I'm making a goal every day to meet 10 new people, 5 online, 5 offline. You've seen if you follow me on social media, you'll see every day I'm at a different networking event. I'm meeting with different people, doing different things, getting on different stages, always studying. So super excited. I know that was a little long, but we got that.
Man. It's perfect. See, the number one thing that I want to ask you just right off the bat is, you talked about how you started from humble beginnings, and then you explained a lot of the adversity you had to face along the way.
Yeah.
And I know you're David the Motivator, and the crazy part is, a lot of people, man, when they encounter that adversity or they counter those struggles, they kind of take the wrong path. They go down the wrong path, and sometimes they get stuck on that path. Sometimes they don't even realize they're on that path until it's too late. But you clearly identified it, and you turned your life around, and you want it to be a symbol to others to do the same.
Yeah.
So what was that mindset like even in the beginning, before you had any of, the achievements, the accolades, just when you were just right after your mom had passed and you said that you were just on fire to just kind of like do everything for her. Like, what was it like for you?
Okay, so growing up in the inner city, our aspirations and our what we want to be like originally for me, originally it was more of the dope boys and then the rappers and all those kind of stuff. So early on in my career, as I wasn't in that I wasn't in that mind frame, but I wasn't trying to do what he was doing. Of course, he changed his life, Young Jeezy. I was listening to a lot of Young Jeezy, trap or die, but to get that mentality, a lot of Jay-Z. So that was what originally brought me into mentality, a lot of the hip hop stuff. But what really got to me, because we understand that mindset is key. And I right now with what I'm seeing, a lot of people are telling people go be business owners, be entrepreneurs, go do this, but they don't understand like it's 90% mindset, you know what I mean? And 10% mental, you know what I mean? 10% work. Like you got to really have that mindset. So I actually, one of the key things was finding new mentors in and out. So from the get-go, I started, once I got into my career of, for example, when I got into real estate, I would listen to Mike Ferry, you know what I mean? And then he had his son, Tom Ferry. I listened to those kind of people. Then when I got into into the network marketing realm and into seminar realm, I started listening to the people like Les Brown, Les Brown, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. I remember the first time I met E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher 10 years ago. First time he came to New York, we had collaborated. All these things you can see on social media, Les Brown, all these people. The mindset was what got me there. And honestly, mindset is what keeps me here every day. Every morning I'm listening to mindset stuff. This morning I was listening to Bob Proctor. You familiar with Bob Proctor?
The name Proctor is familiar, but I haven't
Bob
listened.
Proctor. I'll send you some stuff, but Bob Proctor. I'm listening. So I keep my mind fed. I keep my mind fed with good information and positive information, because we got a lot of stuff getting thrown at us and a lot of information thrown at us. But getting that mindset and then understanding that Les Brown said, when life knocks you down, if you can land on your back, if you can look up, you could get up. Landing on your back. So I see I've fallen a couple of times. Like I said, I've had situations where things went completely bad, but I always got back up. And honestly, I'll just tell you like this. After I got out the hospital and I was on 24-hour watch, high blood pressure, bad muscles. And honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I didn't feel it, but it was, and that I didn't really, I felt a little bad, but I didn't know I was that bad. But after I got out the hospital, I made a decision. Okay, this is it. If they're telling me that this was this bad and it could have got worse, I made the time after that to make a decision. It's time to change my life, get out the darkness. Because if we even go deep, I'll even let you know, because of certain situations, I'll actually even tell you, because of certain situations that I was in the hospital. I was actually in the hospital multiple times where they actually overdrugged me, and actually I turned depressed. I was depressed for about a year and a half pre-pandemic. You know what I mean? So being in the darkness, and I just made the decision, like, enough is enough. And I realize, and to your audience, everybody that's listening or hearing this right now, you understand that, listen, honestly, nobody's going to come out there and save you. You got to go out there and save yourself. So I said enough was enough, changed my life. The next day I got in the gym, started drinking water, and then figuring out the situations. And then from there, honestly, I came out the hospital broke and broken, but I inspired myself within, I think, after I had no car, no money, no situation, had to move back in with my father. And I think first thing I was like, I need to get myself a car. Figured out how to get me a car. And I had bad credit, like, because of situations, 2 repos on there. on my credit after having 700 plus credit, over 100,000 in credit, but just leaving everything alone, everything got messed up. But once the mindset and the decision was made that I have to change my life and I have to go get it, and by any means go get it, I just put action behind it. Once I put the action behind it, everything just started falling in place. Within 30 days, I was able to pick up a vehicle. I was able to pick up a vehicle, and then through different multiple streams of income that I was able to create. I think after 45 days, the next 3 months I was averaging about 10 grand a month, and now, I'm here in Atlanta, looking to collaborate with people inside and outside. I'm looking to build multiple streams of income, looking to coach, looking to inspire, looking to help, and looking to build. So that's where I'm at now.
It's fantastic, man. I hate that you had to go through that, but I know a lot of people listening have been through that, might still be in that, or don't even know that it's coming, because, we all have our highs and lows. But just even going back a little further, you said that you had just got into the real estate market, you were on fire, and it crashed. Now, what was that period like? Did you almost feel like you had to reevaluate? Because that might be the closest we've gotten to what we recently experienced. Even though they're two separate situations, it's just that situation where everything around you is coming down. It's not just you. And you're kind of like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? Like, that's the ultimate motivation, is when, like you said, you got to save yourself. And a lot of people, they do want someone to save them. They want someone to take their hand and take them to the top, but it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't.
Great question. So honestly, I stuck with it, but one of the key things that I've always set myself up, even up to this day, is to always have multiple streams of income coming in. So it was actually funny. People were like, "How were you able to do so? How were you able to do real estate full time and do what you have to do?" And I told them, they couldn't understand, but I had multiple streams coming in. So at the time, so long ago, let me see, how did I get, it was, at first, we thought we could just fight through it because we had good brokers. I had my guy, Edmund Sadio, always telling us, go do this, go do that. But we were doing everything right and it just didn't work. So honestly, I toughed it out through that period, but that was also the period that I got out of it. I always kept the roots and kept the connections and kept the people around. But I got back. I pretty much just found other things to do. That was when I started getting into starting to go to seminars and Toastmasters. That's why I got the idea to start doing seminars. But at the time, I just stayed motivated, stayed positive, and just kept going. I didn't excel after that, but I kept the aspirations. And I didn't get into the story, but actually past few years ago, I actually had a lot of success in another company, Rapid Realty, one of the top real estate firms in New York as well. Like I said, I've done so much that I forget some of the things I do. But it's also at the end of the day, it's always about the mindset, getting yourself out there. Keeping good people around you, keeping people that will tell you how to keep going. I had one of my mentors, Dave Cox, who used to tell me, when things are going bad, push. And when things are going real good, is you got to push even harder. Because one of the things that I've realized is that, there's a great quote that says, you're either in a storm, going to the storm, or just left out of a storm. So, if you're always prepared, you'll be good. So, but again, it's just the mindset, it's getting yourself ready, getting yourself together, listening to positive things. And again, I just made it through. I just always kept my options open and always was ready to evolve to see what was next. And like you said, we were in the worst time. I'm seeing that we were, as of now in April 2021, we just came through a year of COVID. We're still in the midst of it, but I'm seeing a lot of successful entrepreneurs came out of it, millionaires came out of it, and this is what I know. No matter how good it is in our economy, we can have the greatest economy in the world. There's still people going broke, losing, and no matter how bad it is, there's still going to be people that's going to be able to make it. So I feel like if you go out there and put yourself out there to go make it and go win, you'll have success.
So clearly, you're talking from experience.
Exactly. Experience, yes.
And I know we were talking earlier before we even started that there's a lot of people now, they want to be this guru, they want to be this teacher, they want to preach, but they haven't done anything.
Yeah, you know, we're
How do you feel about this whole culture of all these?
You know what? I actually like this culture of I like the culture of entrepreneurship and business that we're seeing right now. But at the same time, as you're saying right now, because of the internet, as you said, there's so much people that's making money and or the allure of making money. You know, we're in an era right now where people are renting Lambos, renting Bentleys, Rolls Royces, paying to get on private jets just to take pictures and do all that kind of stuff, and then turn around and sell you a $1,500, $2,500 course. And I'm looking like, where is your track record? Where have you been? So I see, you know, the guru, the quote unquote gurus are around now, and I see it right now. So, there's a lot of money grabs happening, and honestly, with what I see, there's a lot of money going around in general from the government, where we're talking about people got PPP loans, people got unemployment. They got so many different avenues of getting money. So you're not, you know, so there's just a lot of people out there. But again, as you said, experience is what's going to help me get to the next level. I've touched million. I don't know, maybe I don't know multi-millions, but I've touched at least over $1 million in my lifetime already. Drove multiple luxury cars already. Gotten luxury cars from companies as gifts. So I've been there. So now the experience to know what needs to be done, understanding financial literacy, because I understand right now you can make the $1 million, but keeping it is going to be the hard part. You know, a lot of people right now, they're making a lot of money and they're having a lot of money off of earned income. But the real joy of life and being able to spend money is to be able to spend money off of passive income. That's what I'm looking to make, passive income, and that's when you could, with Grant Cardone would say, that's where you could just buy the bullshit. You know what I mean? So, again. You know, I'm glad for the entrepreneurs. I would just say as an elder statement, I'll just be able to, you know, guide them, coach them, let them know what it is. You know, I've been around. So, and what I'll tell you, we're in a world where we came from more live and went into more virtual. But the next wave of what's going on, we're going to go into hybrid, where it's going to be a little bit of people and you're going to be virtual. So what I see already is that I'm pretty sure is a lot of these people, they know how to market, but do they really know how to sell? Could they really sell in person? Could they really go in the rooms? Because I feel like once the world opens up, people are really going to be outside.
Especially with this vaccines, it's working. Everybody's doing good.
Quick question. Have you gotten a vaccine yet?
Hell no.
Okay, that's a whole nother story. But I fully vaccinated. I got the 2 shots of Moderna. I'm feeling good past 2 weeks, and I'm feeling good.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting until my birthday. September.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But
yeah, I want to take the Pfizer. I just
sure not the Johnson. Nah, I'm just
no. I want to be one and done. I'm not like an anti-vaxxer or anything.
Gotcha.
I just like you know, I'm just not in the mood to like feel sick at all right now.
Gotcha.
That's a possibility.
Okay.
But what I was gonna ask is God, the COVID threw me off. Oh my God. Oh yeah, we were talking about the gurus and whatnot and the programs and whatnot. And I know you're here reestablishing base. I saw you were touring like $5 million homes. I saw you've been going to a lot of networking events. You've been meeting a lot of people. So what's your mission now that you just touched base and you're kind of really starting to grow your roots here in Atlanta?
Listen,
what's your current venture?
Current venture right now. I'm looking. I feel like being in real estate. I want to stick to that. So I want to connect with a couple of the real estate mentors out here. So Jay Morris, who owns this place, is a person that I'd like to meet. And then I seen there was a conglomerate of people out here. So if anybody on this podcast can help, I see people like him, 500 Marcus Barney's out here. I see Mr. 2 Weeks. It's actually crazy. I know their Instagram handles more than I know their names. You know, Mr. 2 Weeks Out, Wall Street Trap, all these people. There's a whole conglomerate of people out here. So I'm looking out there to meet them. Again, maybe be able to mentor. I'd want to be mentored by them as well as I'll be able to mentor them as well. But right now, my first venture I'm really feeling like I'm going to get into is I want to get into the rental arbitrage, short-term rental market, or for most other people that would understand. But you know, where you
mentioned Turo. And I have a lot of friends that actually do that.
Okay, so I'm very interested. I think first I'm going to work with the rental arbitrage market because again, I understand real estate, and so I'm going to first start with that because I understand right now we're in a time where as bad as it sounds, people don't actually care if they really have the house or have the car. It's the appearance of looking like it. So listen, if I could give them something that could keep them with that whole look, I'll throw them a whole photo shoot in a house with the car and everything. I'll give them the whole thing.
So you're trying to help elevate people's social media like images, you could say? Like, are you trying to be like a promoter almost? Or?
I'm big on promotion, but it's not necessarily like the Airbnbs are for everyone. So I'm looking to get real nice Airbnbs, or short-term rentals. So people that want to come into the Atlanta market, have a nice place to stay, nice place to bring their family, nice place for a photo shoot as well. So I'm gonna get that, scale that, as well as again, I like nice cars, and I understand if I could have somebody paying for it, and I still be able to drive it, Bentleys, Ferraris, Rolls Royces, all those kind of things. The rental car industry. So that's still something that I'm learning right now. Also, I'm looking to bring back now that Atlanta's more of an open state. So I'm looking, at least for now, to bring like networking events here, because I've done networking events. I've hosted networking events, and so I'm looking at some of the ideas I've had. Millionaire Meetup Mondays. We got what is it? Wealthy Women Wednesdays, Trillionaire Thursdays, Super Saturdays. We got Billionaire Brunch. So those are some of the things I'm working on. So if that's something and I see that's how I feel the networking aspect is what needs to help you get to the next level, because you never know who you're gonna meet. Because just the event alone, I found it on Eventbrite, which is a good place to go to, and I'll actually give you how I've been able to find all these places. Honestly, I wake up in the morning for the week, and I go on Eventbrite, Meetup, and Facebook events, and I look up every event that I want to go to online and offline, and throw it on my calendar. And then once my calendar gives me an alert that something's close by, I just go to it. So I try to go to an event every single day, and I try to meet people offline every day. And I'm also learning a lot online as well. Talk about that as well. That's amazing.
You mentioned an interesting point earlier. You said we live in an era now where a lot of people are getting really good at marketing, but do they know how to sell?
Yeah, it's
what do you think makes a person stand out between the marketer and the person who doesn't even really need the marketing? They just know how to sell. What do you think the difference is between a successful? Because let's be real, man. If you can get 10,000 people in a room, that's great. Sometimes people can't even get 100 people in a room. But if those same 10,000 people end up leaving that room and there was no conversion rate, then, what's really the beauty of it? But if you could get 10 people in that room and convert 9 of them, I look at that as better than having a whole seminar full of people that you don't convert. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Depending on your product, of course.
So right now, because we're in a time where at least for now, we don't quite know. But we can't really know who was better, because honestly, we're in a hybrid motion right now. But I still fall in I came from the school of more of Grant Cardone, where I seen him do 35,000 people at the Marlins Arena in Miami. So he was and they know how to sell. And the people that know how to this is what I could tell you from the new age gurus to what I see, that the people that are really making the money right now. The new age gurus I see now, they're in the 100,000s, millions, and I think their mark is maybe about 10 million. But the people, the Tony Robbins, Les Browns, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, those people that are working on those people, they're in the 100 millions and billions. So it's a whole different bracket. You know what I mean? It's a whole different set of people. And most people they don't know how to communicate, which again don't know how to convert. Again, the marketing is good, and I think the marketing, It's just here to. We're just gonna see. We're gonna see. Honestly, I want to see right now where. Do you feel like we're towards the ending of the pandemic?
I think it's over.
You think it's over? Okay.
To be honest with you, after August, man. At least here in Atlanta, it hasn't felt like a pandemic. Everyone's moving like normal. Well, once people realize that this isn't a doomsday virus, because let's be real, man. March, April, and I guess May. Maybe even June of 2020, we were all kind of biting our nails because we didn't know. We're like, what is this thing? They're saying it's going to kill 10, 20% of the population. It's strains. But then after, things kind of go on for a minute. I mean, dude, I did the most traveling in my whole life in 2020.
Right. And you
know
want
what
to
I
know,
mean?
honestly, coming from New York, it's still closed. It's just now opening up a year later. So,
That's sad.
So we're here to see. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. I'm still observing on what it is. And again, I've been gone for in and out past 2-3 years. So a lot of things changing, and more so I'm just out here learning. I'm not going to be one of those people that more hate on it feels like it's similar to the rap game. A lot of people, like the older generation, they hate on the newer generation because they don't understand it. So just like, instead of not understanding, I collaborate. You being 22, I'm being 37, almost 40. We still have the same kind of connection. If you see, you seen it live in person. I came out there. I was only in town for 3 days. Came out there, networked, talked to you, been around. Came in my nice suit, as you know.
It was nice.
It was the blue one, yeah, the blue flowery one. That was a nice one. And then being able to network. So we're gonna, I feel like the fundamental skills, even if you play basketball, like the fundamental skills are still gonna be there. You dribble, you shoot, you dribble, you shoot, you dunk. Those are all there. But every now and then, there's gonna be the Golden State Warriors and a Steph Curry that elevates the game. Now, when I say elevate the game, now he brought the 3-point shot almost to anywhere. Right? And now literally the game has some people be like, oh, like, listen, the 3-point line is right here. That's where you're supposed to shoot. Now people are shooting half court shots like it's a regular shot. And I was seeing a stat that they said Dame Lillard, his further away shots have a higher percentage going in than his closer shots.
Crazy.
So is there something wrong with the NBA now that there's more, like in the NBA right now, there's more threes than ever. But the game is still the same. So I feel the same way. The game of marketing, the sales, business, entrepreneurship is still the same, but it's always going to get elevated. There's always going to be new platforms, new social medias, new influencers, all that kind of things that's going to show up. But I think that's time-tested. The time-tested ways are going to win, because certain things with selling, you're always going to have to do, because you can get a customer. Keeping a customer is a whole nother thing. Getting a customer, getting them into their funnel, and then converting them, that's a whole nother thing. Keeping them, customer service, staying relevant, staying cool, all those things. So if you learn, I think we all, you got to be an ongoing learner of business, of the game of business. And like I said, for me, I learn from certain people. If you see on my desk, I'm always reading a new book every day, listening, and always want to know. It's actually funny to BT. I seen him, and then hearing his story, I'm like, I've never heard of him, and he's making all this money and doing all these things, which is just amazing. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that these entrepreneurs, and listen, I wish every one of them the best, and I'd love to collaborate. If you're out there and a younger entrepreneur, I would love to collaborate with you all the way from the smallest to the biggest. Let's do it.
I love it, man. So you mentioned you have a lot of experience in network marketing. Now,
Yeah.
I know network marketing at times has gotten a bad rap, but I know people on both sides. I know a guy who he's involved in a very popular network marketing platform. His name's Des Howard. He's actually been on the show.
Okay.
So he's involved with IML or IM.
I was in IML at one point. Very good friends with Alex Morton. I know you. Are you familiar? He's the chairman elite out there. So they actually, this week they actually have a convention out here.
Oh, I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
he actually trades. Like, he actually trades Forex. He makes money doing it. He lives in a nice, high-rise building in Midtown. We shot our most recent episode there, and he's killing it. But then I've also met people, they're kind of hit or miss, they can trade, but they're like, they mainly make their money on the network marketing side, on just pitching others and recruiting people under them. So how do you feel about the whole aspect of network marketing and kind of like both sides of it?
Okay. So first thing, being in network marketing, again, 10 years in network marketing, hitting the top 1% of the company as senior vice president of company 5, prior company 5 Links. Last company I was with, FES. At my end run, I was top 5 in the whole company in recruiting. So I've seen both sides of it, and I understand both sides of it. And what I could tell you, what happens with a lot of people in network marketing is two things. First thing, they don't put the work in network marketing. You know what I mean? They like, first of all, once you get started, they have what the second thing was they also have unrealistic expectations. You know what I mean? Network marketing is out there. The first thing that you got to understand about network marketing is like a business school. It teaches you business with a compensation plan attached to it. Correct? So the better you get, the more money you make. So a lot of times you got to put in the work. So a lot of people don't actually put in the work. They think a lot of people come into network marketing thinking it's more of a get rich quick scheme. You know what I mean? And honestly, there are some that are get rich quick scheme, and and honestly, if it seems to get rich quick scheme, and if they tell you it's get rich quick, run as far as you can. Yeah. Listen, a legitimate network marketing company has a great compensation plan where you can move your way up into it. Like, honestly, most people come into network marketing looking to make an extra $300,000, $500,000. Because you got to understand, at one point, an extra $500 a month would have saved, during that last real estate crash, would have saved a lot of people from that happening. So a lot of people, you would think a lot of people come in to make that big money, but an extra $300 to $500 is what most people come in there to do something part-time. So some people have unrealistic expectations, or like you gotta understand, you gotta work on you first. So a lot of people come in. I've seen people, if they don't make $100,000 in 2 weeks, they're quitting. If they tell all their friends, if they get started and somebody says boo, they run. So I've seen a lot of people, and network marketing can be lucrative for people. And then also you never know a person's why. Why are they doing this business? That's one of the things that people, when you get started, what's hurting you? I've seen, like, originally when I first started network marketing, I was completely broke. It was actually funny. I remember I had a red Impala back then, and New York is notorious for tickets. Had a whole bunch of them. They actually just towed my car, and I think it was like $1,200 to get it back. And to get what I seen in the compensation plan, if you get to this level in a certain amount of time, it's $1,500. So I needed my car back. So I got to that. That was what my why was. And then I figured out I wanted to help people. You know what I mean? So understanding, Jim Rohn once said, you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything that you want. So I understood I want to help people. And then on the flip side of network marketing as well, it's like there are some bad companies. I've seen people, hey, I'll be even more transparent. My company, my first company, 5 Links, all the co-founders went to jail for stealing money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can Google that.
How are they stealing it?
Was it just money laundering?
Oh, so
what I feel like, they were seeing too much money coming in and they wanted a piece, so they all went to jail. You know what I mean? I've seen companies. I know a lot of people, younger generation, they came into Wake Up Now. That was a complete scam that disappeared.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Recently I seen there was, I've
heard of a bunch of those, man. Yeah. Honestly, I've actually spoken to people who've done that, and they didn't know that I knew that they were a complete scam, because I was plugged into somebody who was working with them, and I was talking with them, and it's interesting when, they say hindsight's 20/20. So it's interesting when you already have that information, and then you go into they were just weird people. And now looking back, same thing. They're getting sued by the federal government, and then yada, yada, yada. And then the rest is history. But obviously, you're still here. You're not in prison. So the way you did it was legit.
Yeah, it was completely legit.
So you just focused on branching out and helping people make that extra $500, $200, $300, $1,000 a month. You weren't trying to sell people to make $100,000 a month in 2 months and all that crap.
So what I taught first, when I first got started, I was teaching my team how to first get their money back.
Oh, okay.
Once I teach them how to get their money back, now everything is you can't even blame me anymore, because now everything is profit. Everything is profit on what they're doing. And one of the things that I pride myself on as well is that, some people could say you do it alone, but I was able to actually have other people. I was actually able to show other people how to get into the same position as myself as senior vice president. So, and honestly, I still see them to this day. They're still doing their thing. So just being able to see the seed of people being able to do this business. And, in hindsight, watching again, like a lot of the people, because of the business skills, whether they quit or stayed, most people quit network marketing, but I'm seeing them because of the skills they learn in network marketing. They're all better people, and I tip my hat to them, and lots of success stories. And what I could also say about network marketing, it still gets a bad rap, but you'll be surprised. Like most companies, like I see even now in real estate, there's EXP Keller Williams. When I go into the companies, I see that they have the same network marketing formula. Like you get paid if you recruit agents, you could do that. I'm seeing a lot of these guys that are actually on the internet right now. They were former network marketers. They just said, you know what? Let's just take all these tactics and do it for ourselves. So, again, I'm seeing a lot of people less into being into one conglomerate, just a lot of people doing a lot of things. But again, the cycle always comes around. I've seen this a couple of times. Everybody's rich. Everybody's got a Lambo. Everybody's got money. I've seen this, It's like, honestly, we're in April 2021. Let's talk again in 1 year. Let's see where everybody's at, because that's when we'll really see what's going on, and we'll see where I'm at again. Okay.
Facts. So one last thing before we get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Regardless of the ventures, regardless of any business, proposition, whatever it is, you mentioned that everybody's always working towards their why. Whether that you want your car, whether you want to, get another house, whatever your situation is, what's your why? Especially, saying that you said you just overcame some major health issues, which I'm very happy to hear you overcame.
My why right now, honestly, again, as I said, I still want to be able to inspire, motivate, help a lot of people. But some of the things I want to get in a relatively short time, be known in Atlanta as well as worldwide. This is just going to be my first stop of places that I'm going to be at. Of course, I'd like to get the multi-million-dollar mansion as well, be as healthy as possible. I see the Rolls Royce and Bentley. Those are two cars on my vision board. So I want to get, one of the big ones, as I told you, within a year, which we can come back right now and talk about it. I want to have $1 million cash made revenue. Here you go. There we go. And I can just show you it all there. I'll let you know right after I get that $1 million. It'll probably be gone right after that, because I always go back to broke. And honestly, no matter what I do, I'm always 10xing my income. I do a lot of trainings with Grant Cardone. I just did his 10x boot camp this past weekend, and I set high goals, and then once I reach them, I go out there and 10x it. So, and honestly, I feel like, if you just go out there and keep dreaming, keep looking. We talked about this earlier. You see that I've been out there networking, and on my Sunday when I free time, I go out there. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I went to Zillow, and I went to Atlanta, Georgia, houses for sale, open houses. And I put a highest first, and it was a $5 million house. And I just went there just to see how it is, because you got to first believe it in your mind. You got to believe it. You got to have some vision. If you could envision yourself being there, then you'll get there. Then I went out there to the Bentley dealership, seeing what it is, and then just now all it is. I took a picture. Let me see for the cameras, whichever camera. If you look on the phone, let me see.
You got the vision board?
Yeah, if you see right there, you see it right there, still over there. See the Bentley, and you see the house. If you see it right there, so I'm always still envisioning what's next in life. So I'm super excited, and honestly, again, helping a lot of people, collaborating with people, and of course making money and being an example that you could come from humble beginnings. You could come from a completely different state, no connections, nobody out there, and you can make it happen. So I'm honestly doing it from the ground up right now. And at the same time, you see, I got my camera over there. You got your camera. I'm documenting it as well. So, if what I say makes sense, because I'll tell you like this: 1 year from now, we're gonna have another interview, and I'll tell you exactly what's happened. So excited about it. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all the entrepreneurs and people that you've connected with. I'm looking forward to you connecting me with some people, me connecting you with some people, and just doing some big things. Taking your podcast. My podcast is coming out as well. The Make Life Epic podcast. I got a lot of things happening, a lot of big things happening in 2021 and beyond.
Hell yeah, man. So last but not least, what is your message for the people? How can people remember David, the Motivator, as we get out of here today.
Okay. One of my favorite quotes right now says, people often say motivation doesn't last, so doesn't bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. So listen, if I could be if I could just be out there, be your motivator, be your inspirator, I'm out here for it. If you need an example of what can happen or who you should follow or what you need to do, that's me. And just understand, like, whatever you want in life is you can get, no matter what situation, and you can thrive from. You know, I've came from, like, honestly, like I was in there's pictures out there right now 7 months ago in the heart of the pandemic. I'm in the hospital fighting for my life. So if I was able to come back from there, go through situations, I've been, I've been through all that. Police, I don't let it hold me down. Police brutality, getting thrown in mental institutions, all those kind of things. I've been through it all. So if I could overcome that, you can overcome that as well. And you just got to go out there and fight for what you want. It's not going to be It's not going to be the easiest. And honestly, nobody's going to give it to you. You got to go out there and work. And life has a way of making way for the person that wants it bad enough. If you're gonna just put in the work, I go back again, work, put in the work. Nothing is easy. And listen, and if somebody's selling you easy, run as far as you can from there. Go out there, work your business, work your mind. Again, who are you listening to? I give you a couple of people right here who you want to listen to. You want to listen to some motivation. Go listen to Les Brown, E.T. the hip hop preacher. So some guys has passed away. Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn. Listen to those people. Don't get yourself in the mindset. Then when you want to get yourself into business, get yourself into people like Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins. Listen to those kind of people. And also, of course, get your mentors. And don't be shy. Go read a book. If you can't read a book, go listen to audiobooks. Pretty much every book is out there. Get with YouTube before you go out there and pay all these gurus. You could go on YouTube, learn as much as you can from YouTube University. You know what I mean? Google University. Go find out that information, and you'll have everything that you need right there. So I'm excited, looking to get to the next level. If people are on social medias, you can find me all over the place. David Motivator, pretty much on every platform: YouTube, Snapchat, Clubhouse, everything. I'm all over the place. You're gonna see a lot more of me. You can also go to my website, davidmotivator.com. I'll be putting out a lot of inspiration, motivation, events, credit tips, a little bit of everything. So looking forward to, working with each and every one of you guys. I'm looking forward to, us having this interview again in another year and seeing where we're both at, Where will you be at in 1 year? How about that? Where will you be at?
Man,
how many interviews are you gonna do?
Man, we'll discuss that once we get out of here. But I just want to tell you, really appreciate you so much for
definitely
putting the time aside.
Tell
and
me
doing
one
this.
goal. I need one thing.
Goal?
One goal. Give me one goal.
One goal for the podcast
for 2021, for the next year when we have, so we can look back. One big goal. Give me one of your biggest goals.
I want to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
10x that.
10,000.
10,000. You got that. So 2022, April 2022, Jarbel, he's going to have 10,000. I say you're going to have 100,000. I feel like you get a 10,000 this year. I feel like you should get to 100,000.
I like it, man.
100,000. You need 100,000.
I need 100,000.
You need a plaque.
100,000 subs. We take a timeshare to the next level, and we bring David back on for the win.
Definitely. Let me give you some tips on that right there. So if you honestly, you're going to have, whatever you're doing right now, you're going to have to 10x that. You know what I mean? Which means now you're going to have to network more, be around more people, get more connections. And honestly, it's prospecting. Nobody, you don't hear that word too much, but prospecting, which means prospecting, going out there, actively looking for people where you could get stages. If I could give you a person I would think I could recommend you listen to, his name is Pete Vargas. He actually talks about how to get on different stages. Like, for example, this is a stage. Okay. Because now if you could collaborate, get on different people's stages, you could build your business. I'm going to send you some videos on that. Listen, 100,000 subscribers by 2021. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, man. Just like every other time, my name's Charbel Milan. Today we got
David Motivator, your motivator. Let's do it.
And this has been a time shared. Thank you so much.